friendly. I go extra to be great. I go extra for the fam, I go extra for the cake. I got extras on the plate. I go extra every day, I got extras on the way. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. Ain't no mileage of $4 configure the road I travel. Don't gravel, that probably baffle it. Label scribble on paper, they wanna shackle it. I own my masters and royalties, you can't raffle it. Wrist drip like a mango, fingertips like I'm Thanos. Knocking those down, no bangles. Without a Kango, tailor-made. Walk with a limp, them bands is heavy, I need a brace. I am money, I guess the world is just a safe combination needed, not a Coca-Cola. I'm the extra lighter on the dresser. I know you need it, smoking out the competition, pouring up, we undefeated. What you heard, let's heard, we eating, talking about extra with a splash, extra acting bad, pull it like parades on parades, extra with the slab, pay what it call for the tab, extra with the band, young Crizzle King, better add extra on the. I go extra to be great, I go extra for the fam, I go extra for the cake, I got extras on the plate, I go extra every day, I got extras on the way. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra.
Dollar. Hey. DJ Mosky, let's get it. We the champions here in Los Angeles.
A very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Today, we kick off the new year with an NFC North matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. The veteran kicker Mason Crosby set to do the honors here. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. And no run back on this one, so the new season will begin at the 25-yard line. Cousins looking to put it up right away. We're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And into the end zone. It's a pick six and a Packer touchdown. On is Mason Crosby for the point after. And he's 1 for 1 on the new year as his kick is good.
Makes the score. Packers 7, Vikings 0.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And, Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in Week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that in the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Very nice catch there by Justin Jefferson, one of the best receivers in the game after just 2 seasons in the league. As a rookie, second-team All-Pro, and then in his second year, was second in the league in yardage. This guy continues to grow and get better with every game.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. They'll try the wide side with Cook. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. Here's Cousins. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And that'll force upon them a 3rd and 14.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for, because ordinarily you pick up the guys downfield and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not and dropped him for no gain.
Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hawkinson. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
I tell you what, it looks like he's shaking off that pick 6 just fine. It's not just defensive backs that have to have short memories. Quarterbacks utilize that as well. A much more confident throw right there.
From the red zone now, Cousins. And complete right side to Cook. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. And that's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
To throw again on 2nd down, Cousins. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Packers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
And when a team advances as far as they did, got over the 50-yard line, don't you think that drive deserved a better ending? I think he needs to get with his coaches on the sidelines, make some immediate adjustments, and that's what you do. You don't wait. You do it from series to series, because drives like that, that end with a turnover, that's multiple times they picked him off already in this opening half.
And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. The Vikings here hosting Green Bay in the season opener, and they've got one of those quirks in the schedule that is going to work in their favor. They play all 3 of their division home games in the first 5 weeks of the year. After Green Bay today, They'll host Detroit in Week 3 and then Chicago in Week 5. From the 22, Rodgers flushed out right and able to find Allen Lazard. And that's good for a gain of 6. And now 2 yards to go on 3rd down.
Well, partner, that's the start that you want right there. And you know he spent the entire offseason throwing hundreds, I'd probably say thousands of passes, getting ready for that moment. The first throw of the new season. He's dreamed about it, thought about it, and now it's out of the way.
Yeah, 1 for 1, a lot more to go. He finds Watson complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Out to his left. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Rodgers to throw once more. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Vikings now to start their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. On 2nd and 11 now. Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Cousins to throw it. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. Past the 20. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. Well, CD, that's a huge play by this defense in a close ball game. I think he was trying to just extend the play. They're getting outside the pocket, but he throws a costly pick 6.
Yeah, he was trying to find someone open. You're exactly right. He wasn't looking to run. He was looking to throw. The result, not good for him. They were more than happy on the defensive side to gather that one in and take it to the house.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Minnesota defense about ready to get this next drive underway. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Ed one told me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long.
Hey, flipper.
Looking to throw. Going for Jefferson downfield. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. We have 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. An excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
Credit to Darius Smith, able to get through and make that tackle for a loss.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Rodgers now to throw. Completed out left to Dobbs. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
150, baby, 150.
On 2nd and 12, Rodgers had his hands on it but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake, 3rd down.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. This one swung out here to Jones. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. Now Jones. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
One back in the game. That's Jones, 2nd and goal. Throwing is Rodgers. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jones. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And now we've got a 3rd and goal situation.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Robert Tonyan from 4 yards out. And the Packers are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And that makes the score 21-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Again, it's Cook. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. You need your wide receivers as blockers. Sometimes they get a hold.
The big runs are often a result of what they do on the perimeter. In this case, got caught holding, and this one come back.
Off the play fake, Cousins. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Cousins. And now here's another interception. Rasul Douglas picks it. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers.
A check down here to Jones.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
On 2nd and very short, Rodgers. Got a man, that's Lazard. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. The quick slant caught. Down at the 2. Broke through first contact, but ultimately stopped shy of the goal line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here's Rodgers. Going to throw on 3rd and goal. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
Mason Crosby on for field goal from 19 yards down.
The kick by Crosby is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the 2nd half. And this will not be returned, so the 2nd half begins with a touchback.
Do not keep it to 22.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. The 2nd half starts with a carry by Jones. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Again, it's Jones. A beautiful fake. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Throwing now is Rodgers. Throw right side, hauled in by Dobbs. And he's going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Now a handoff. Running left is Jones. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Rodgers going to throw. Over the middle here, it's hauled in by Watson. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 42. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. He hits Dobbs on the crosser. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. He got 29 yards that time.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
They go back to the ground with Jones. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
2nd and 6 at the 9-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now it's Rodgers. He's got it. And it's a Packers touchdown.
Christian Watson with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Packers take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Crosby with the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
Cousins in step with Jefferson that time. First down, Vikings. Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously, for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard, trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful. Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
Second and 10, third quarter of the season opener.
Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Glad to have you with us from Minneapolis. Third quarter here, second and 10.
Hey, receiver. Bring up 48. Bingo. Done. First.
Throwing is Cousins.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield.
And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Eric Stokes. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day. They're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Give the tackle there to Daniil Hunter.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Second down, another shot for Jones.
And he's going to be met at about the 43. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The offense on 3rd down, they've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Rodgers. Got a man, it's Tunyon. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
Tell you what, partner, the way he's been slinging it in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. But one thing we've both learned about quarterbacks in this league, they often stay on the field longer than you expect.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It was Daniil Hunter to make the play in the backfield. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it. And the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
That's complete to Dobbs.
So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
Shotgun now for Rodgers.
That's taken in by Watson.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Well, that's one way to convert on 3rd down, picking up 26 yards.
Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here. Some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game, and they're not holding back. They're still throwing the football here in the 4th.
They certainly are, and let me tell you something. If you're old school...
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown.
Aaron Jones, a touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Packers are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead.
Crosby connects on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week 1 because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. These fans just kind of beside themselves right now.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored him, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
Looking to throw again on second down. Cousins. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to make it third down and less than a yard. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Third and short yardage. Cousins
swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he will have the Vikings first down, at least at first glance, as he'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches. Again, it's Cousins. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Running right, Jones. It was Duke Dawson on the tackle, the 2nd-round pick in 2018. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Here's Jones again on 2nd down. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive continues.
Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game. That's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I've got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides. But to see the ball in a running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. So not just a blowout win for them today, Charles, but a shutout blowout win as well. Clearly just a superior effort on both sides of the ball.
Hey, didn't it feel like you get a touchdown, you get a touchdown, and then the defense jumped up and said, hold it, we're getting involved as well. You're exactly right. Big points, both sides contributing, a full team win.
So for Green Bay, you can't ask for a better start as they pitch a shutout here in the opener. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Philly to face off with the Eagles.
So many memories that I made on Cascade Road. I done gained new
my soul. This is God-given, so I thank him as I go. Hate to sound conceited, but I know. Crazy thing they with me. Yeah, crazy thing they with me. Run up on me, baby, show you gon' see. Yeah, God power from my head to my feet. Yeah, this colossal. What I say is gospel. I cook this with love, they gon' eat it up and swallow me. I'm from the ghetto, babe. Seen bodies in the street before I could tweet. I came from nothing. I turned a mustard seed into a million in the discussion. Had a TED talk with the higher me, show me how to run it up. I need all my cheese. Every day that I wake up, I'm pinching myself. Can't believe that I'm really me. Popping shows in New Zealand, boy, you is not eating, man. We do not play in the same league. I gave my mama some racks and she asked me if I'm selling. I said, mama, please. If I was, do you think I'd let you know? Got so many memories that I made on Cascade Road. This is God-given, so I thank her as I go. This gon' sound conceited, but I know. Crazy thing they with me. Yeah, crazy thing they with me. Yeah, God power from my head to my feet. Yeah, run up on me, maybe so you gon' see. Yeah. I did not chase, I just attract. What you put in, you get back. I'm screaming Campbell, then still hit the dance and wherever I'm at. Feel like a champion, mamba mentality. I am the masterpiece, life is the craft. Deep love me and I can't resist it, but I'm only guilty of slipping too fast. Life is by legacy, what lies ahead of me, helping to get peace with his past. Little bitty regular that I pack, 007 before you react. Don't think twice, my only advice for my granddad before he passed. Look to the stars, look at the sky at night. Tell me that heaven ain't black on everything I love. Try not to brag till you bring it up. Tunnel vision, block opinions, and I could give but think of us. Duck jab hooks in it through the roof with an uppercut. Tell the truth, shut the devil up. In the booth, I'm untouchable. Crazy thing they with me.